Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got a very quick pickups video for you here. Not a whole ton of stuff, but some pretty decent stuff, and I just want to keep on top of all of this just so I can get everything cleaned and on the shelf or ready for trades or anything like that. So I really wanted to get down to business on this one. First thing I wanted to show you here is a copy of Grand Theft Auto The Classics Collection on the PC. Now I'm not probably going to hold on to this, but it's just in way too good a shape. I mean, this thing's factory sealed, so it's really cool. It has Grand Theft Auto London and Grand Theft Auto 2. And it's all like in one package kind of thing. Like I said, it's sealed, so pretty good deal I think for $10. I'm going to try to flip that though and see if I can turn that 10 into like 30 or something. We'll see about that, but that was something that I picked up. It's super cool, and I'm a huge fan of the GTA series from way back in the day. I really love the original ones on the PC and everything like that. So I'm still sort of deciding whether or not I'm going to hold on to this. If it doesn't sell, I'm going to hold on to it because I think it's pretty cool and just a nice little collector's piece, to say the least. The next thing I wanted to show you here came from a Value Village, and pretty happy to find this. You don't really usually find too many Genesis games out there these days, and this is one that I already have in my collection, so this is going to be obviously going out there for trade or sale or anything like that. But that's Hit the Ice, so that's pretty cool right there. This is one of those sports titles I think that has a little bit of value, unlike the regular kind of sports titles. This is more arcade kind of things. It says this is the arcade hit. I don't know a whole ton about that necessarily. It's in decent shape. It feels a little wrinkly. It might just be the case, so I don't know if it's the artwork. But the disc, or not the disc, come on, the cartridge is in there, but the manual is missing, and my copy too has the manual missing, which is kind of a bummer. But that's the way it goes sometimes. So that's just going to be something that'll end up going probably to the Barry Game Exchange with me. We'll see about that coming up here shortly. But let's see what happens with this one. I think I'm probably just going to end up flipping that though pretty soon. And then the next part, when I went to Lee's, came as sort of like a deal altogether here, just because when you buy, it really depends on who you talk to, actually, before I say this. Depends on who you talk to, because some of the clerks and everything will say that media does not count toward this, as in like, video games and that kind of thing, that they're excluded from this deal. But depending on the clerk that you get, sometimes you'll get this deal, and the deal basically is if you buy 5 items, one of them is free as far as like media based things go. So I always try to maximize that. So this one here I just basically got as a freebie thrown in. That's why I picked it out. It's Monster Rancher Battle Card GB. So I didn't have this one in the collection. Unfortunately, the label's kind of faded. You can tell probably owned by a kid. So I don't really know a whole lot about this title, but I did have it in my collection. It sounds cool enough anyways to grab, so I figured I would. That was basically the freebie there. That came along with a couple other Game Boy games which I was more interested in. First one here is Pokemon Blue, and this one here seems to be a harder one to come by when it comes to getting a nice label on it, because I always find the labels are always messed up on this one, although I do think the copy I have is mint, but this one here is definitely not. But still, for $5, definitely worth it. And then also a copy of Game Boy, come on. I'm having a difficult time with this right now. Pokemon Gold version. So, Pokemon Gold version again. This one here, I think the save battery is dead on it, but I know how to do the little swap there. And this one's in pretty decent shape, and I tested both of them out. They do work, but like I said, save battery on that one's dead, but that's an easy fix for me. I can do that, no problem. And those are all, other than the freebie game, those are going to be flipped, and so are these next two. First one here for $5 was the Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventure, and the disc on this one isn't exactly perfect or anything like that. It is a little bit scuffed up, but I just tested it out and it works like a champ, so I'm not too worried about that. And then obviously this next one here is a pretty big deal. You don't usually find this one out in the wild too often these days, and unfortunately it's not complete, but you know, it is what it is, and that's Super Smash Brothers Melee. So this one just keeps going up and up. It seems like, again, it's in sort of similar condition to the other one. It's a little scuffed and everything, but I did test it out and it works, so I'm not really going to resurface it to make it look mint. If something works, I'm just going to keep it that way. So that's pretty cool right there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one just yet. I'm really looking for the artwork for it, because I do have it in my collection complete and everything like that, so I'm not too worried about that. But you know, I have the loose disc, and I also have, and I'm trying to remember where I have it here. I think it's right here. I have a manual, which I've just shoved in here to keep it nice and flat and everything, but it would be nice just to, you know, be able to complete that, so if I were to sell it or whatever, you know, the person would be getting a complete copy of it. So I'm probably just going to hold on to that until that day comes. We'll see what happens right there, but that's everything I have for you this time around. I hope you guys, you know, like that. Not a whole lot of this am I holding on to. I mean, basically, out of everything, it's just this one game, but the rest of these are just to recoup some video game fund here, because I'm pretty much depleted in my funds as far as buying games at this point until I start selling some stuff. And my problem is I'm sort of trying to hoard it a little bit so I can take it to the Barry Game Exchange so I can have good stuff on my table, but at the same time I need to be able to refund my collection a little bit here, so we're going to see how that goes. But that's everything I got for you guys this time around. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.